Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode, conversation, whatever you want to call it, of Good Trouble. So we're here again, and as you know, our vision and our motto is to get in good trouble, necessary trouble, and we bring people on like Miss Stephanie Rivers Kluttz, who is going to share information with our students, those that are watching. I don't want to introduce her because she does so much, and she's done so much before. So, Miss Klutz, if you could just let the people know who you are, why we're here today, and what we're about to talk about.
Okay. Well, again, thank you, Mr. Du, for allowing me to share information in regards to our area and alumni affairs and development. I know that we had some recent students that graduated, so this is probably going to help you out a lot. And if we have anyone listening this afternoon, if you don't know anything about an alumni association, how do you become a part of an association? What's the nationals? Where are the chapters? I'm going to be able to answer some of those questions from you. I'm a graduate of Voorhees College, class of 2016,
Okay.
and I've worked in several areas here at Voorhees College. But unbeknownst to some people, I didn't actually start working in the president's office of Title III. I've probably been here for about 12 years, but I have 10 years of service full time. I started working under a grant with the health navigators, so I kind of just navigated my way right on over into alumni affairs, and it's worked for me so far. But I enjoy what I do, and whatever I can share, I'd like to do that this afternoon.
Awesome, awesome. So there's a rich history here when it comes to Voorhees College, the whole process of a student in general, from undergrad to graduating and then being a part of the community, which is being an alumni of the college. So first off, I want to jump into a couple of questions and ask Miss Rivers Klutz. I'm gonna just go with Miss Klutz if you don't mind.
You gotta be fine. You can call me Miss Stephanie, whatever you want.
Okay, Miss Stephanie, Miss Klutz, all of the above. So, what is your advice with helping students navigate from being an undergrad and becoming an alumnus? Because a lot of times, students they go from that one period of their life to the next period, and sometimes it's hard to kind of see yourself as an alumnus now because you've been an undergrad for 4 years. So how do you transition? What is your advice with transitioning out of this 4 years that was awesome, exciting, that was successful to now being an alumnus? What is your advice?
Okay, well, if you've graduated and you've matriculated onto another program and you're not no longer here at the institution, let me say this: you were an alumni before you graduated. A lot of
Wow.
people are under the conception that once I graduate I'm an alum, but if you've ever spent a semester here or a season, you are now ours. I went to another university before I came to Voorhees College, so I'm an alum at that university, no different than when I left Voorhees and went and got an MBA. I'm an alum at that university. Whether I graduated or not, I'm still there. I'm their alum. So I want you to know that just because you have not graduated, my job as the Alumni Affairs Director is to assist you in matriculating relationships with alumni.
Hmm.
Once you meet some of the people in your chapter, in your area, and I know some of the people in the Charlotte, Atlanta, Augusta, Berkeley, Charleston, New York City, Tri-County areas, and we'll talk about some of those chapters. Some students that came to this school benefited from those chapters before they got to this school. Even
Yeah.
when they got to Voorhees, they were still benefiting from those chapters because these chapters create scholarship dollars for some of the students that they sent here.
Yeah.
So they also help us recruit.
Yeah.
Okay?
Now that's a great answer. I think that's so good because sometimes students will come to a college for a little while, transfer, and not have any type of relationship with that previous institution. But just like you said, if you attended this college at any point in time in your life, you're an alumnus of this school.
That's correct.
I
And,
I,
and I
I
still
wouldn't even have
have
nothing to do.
relationships I still have relationships with some students that came to Voorhees, like I said, for either a semester or a season, and they may have graduated from Johnson C. Smith, Claflin, South Carolina State, USC, with their undergraduate degrees, but they started here. We develop relationships, and that's what I do in my job. I develop relationships with people because at some point, especially in our HBCU community, we're going to meet again. We're going to meet again.
Yeah, we're going to meet again. And in meeting again, let's now talk about, right, with meeting again, let's talk about how students can now experience the life of an alum, right? You're going to meet again. You may meet at some type of alumni function or some type of event we're in. It's like, hey, I saw you before. So what does that life look like for an alum? Because we've talked about undergrad. Now, what can my life look like from, you said something about some of the chapters, and maybe some students may not know that there's a chapter in my city or in my state. I might be in North Carolina, or I might be in California, or wherever I am. What does that look like for an alum? Can you just kind of talk about that, like the life of an alum, really quick?
Sure. Well, one good thing about our graduates and the people that have matriculated either for that season at Voorhees or they've graduated. Once they've come to Voorhees, we've developed relationships with them. And I'm going to say this, we have some of the best alumni here at Voorhees
Yeah.
College. One thing about your matriculation, once you leave here, you're going to have an opportunity at some point to either give us your time, talent, and or your treasure. You can give us all three of them. And,
Mm.
and our graduates have moved on to be authors, artists, dancers. Some of them have career in government, the FBI, professional sports, dentistry, medicine, internal medicine, banking, marketing. We even have a few alums that have graduated here. They were part of the same organization, and they've come together and they've started a company through
Wow.
entrepreneurship. I
Wow.
mean, through their businesses and classmates that they met here. So Voorhees College has an institution of wealth and a whole wealth of knowledge and community knowledge. So that's what our alumni do. But Mr. Duke, we often travel, and rather, you graduated from Voorhees or attended here or not, even if you work here, a lot of times, we wear our Voorhees College shirts, or, rather we're wearing our shirts or socks or an
Hmm.
old hoodie that we used to wear, and somebody, hey,
Yeah.
where's that? Well, a lot of people are under the impression that they can't be an ambassador of the school.
Mm.
Rather, you're wearing that old hoodie that you painted the house in, and our logo is still on there, or your button-down polo, or the fact that you might have a car tag, or you mentioned Denmark, South Carolina, and Voorhees College. You just made yourself an unofficial ambassador, and I want everybody to look at themselves in that light. Look at it as, hey, I have an opportunity to give my elevator pitch about the school, what we're doing here at Voorhees, what's going on, as we say in little old Denmark.
Yeah.
There's so much that's going on, and we have an opportunity to do that. So that's what life kind of looks like once you graduate from Voorhees. I have two daughters that attended Voorhees, and one of them just went to California, and
Okay.
she wore her hoodie because she knew it was going to be cold on the plane. And the first thing one of the airline students said, I know where Voorhees College is. The fact that somebody even wants to talk about it, that's what we're responsible for. That's what our alums are supposed to look like, because they're going to move on. They may get a master's degree, another terminal degree, and they're going to have careers. They're going to have families. That's what our Voorhees College alums look like. We're no different than anybody else that comes to an institution. But the only difference is that we're responsible for sharing about our institution and giving people knowledge and encouraging people to want to be a part of our family.
Let me ask this question. So this is not on our list,
Mm-hmm.
but a lot of times this is a question, a question or a resource for a
Mm-hmm.
lot of our students if they know the importance of it. So a lot of opportunities from what I've seen is because of your relationship or someone's relationship with someone that is an alumni of the institution,
Mm-hmm.
right? They
That's
work in that environment, whether it's accounting or marketing or engineering or whatever. How important is it for students to not just graduate from the institution, right? But now possibly network and build relationships with some of those same people that may be in your area of
right.
interest.
Yeah, we have to have those kind of conversations. And I can give you an example. I was privileged probably about the last 2 weeks of our 2021 academic year to work with some of our seniors with some of their graduation portraits and making sure that their commencement exercise was in good taste. And every one of them I ask, what's your plans when you get ready to leave? What you gonna do when you're gonna leave? And I try to either connect them to a specific person,
Yeah.
a chapter in their area, or a organization that they may had been a part of once they got to Voorhees College. Do you know that the queens of Voorhees College have a chat?
Mm.
Every Voorhees College queen has been invited to that chat, so they have their own circle. So they may be in several different careers, but they're able to guide each other. So that's
Yeah.
what we do. It's like, I guess, each one teach one, reach one, but we do try to connect them. I had a student, and he said he was interested in the FBI. Well, I had a former student that was my work study, and I still have his number, and we talk on a regular basis. And I contacted the student and the former student, and I asked him, could I share his information? He said, absolutely.
Yeah.
So those are the kind of connections that we want to make. That's why it's important for you to get involved with your alumni association.
Yeah. So let's dial down just a little bit deeper,
Okay.
because now we talk about the alumni chapter. We talk about the students going from undergraduate to alum, and the resources and the benefits. But why is it important for students specifically to participate? Because sometimes they hear about the cycle of graduation, alumni, but why is it so important for a student to not just graduate but become a part of it? Because I don't want to become a part of it just because of someone told me to, right? But because of the legacy that's attached to it, because of the longevity that's attached to it, because of somebody's going to be in my shoes in the next couple of years, or maybe even months, and I may be able to donate towards a scholarship, towards some type of benefits. But why is it important, Ms. Kluttz? What if a student goes back and watches and say, okay, they said all these resources, but why is it important for me to be a part of an alumni chapter?
Well, a lot of times, and I've heard some students say, when I went to Voorhees, I wish I could have done this. I wish I could have done that. When you graduate from Voorhees, you never leave us. This is an opportunity not only for you to build a network of people who are probably going to be able to assist you in some of your lifelong career planning with family, community, and even your philanthropy. So now it's also an opportunity for you, some of those things or those programs that you wanted to give back, have someone to work with you. The things that you came to college and said, well, I wish we could have done this. I wish we could have done that. Why can't we do that for the next group of students that are coming in? That's my responsibility of alum. If there's something that I want to change here, be a part of the change, not just be a part of the conversation.
Wow.
Yeah.
I love it. Be a part of the change and not just the conversation. Sounds like we're making some resolutions here. I like that.
Hey.
So, Ms. Kluttz, we have people that are watching and will watch the playback. And now with all this information, I'm sure that they're excited and they have been informed to another level that being a part of the alumni chapters, wherever they are, is an amazing position to be in, right?
It is.
So, is there any upcoming events, whether they're virtual or in person? How does a student get a part of it? Do they need to contact your office, or what's that whole process for a student to go from undergrad to alum and actually be a part of a chapter? What does that process look like?
Well, every year, I know since I've been a part of Voorhees College's family, every year, every graduation class, including my class, the Voorhees College National Alumni Association gives every graduating senior a free membership to our National Alumni Association.
Okay.
In turns, the National Alumni Association, including myself, the Alumni Affairs Director, will direct them into a chapter if they're interested in doing it. However, let me share this with you.
Okay.
They're going to be a member of our National Alumni Association. They may not be in an area or a region where a chapter is started. That's a way you can contact me or the National Alumni Association. We have students in Africa. We have a whole Dominican Spanish community that we've educated, and we could create chapters through those communities and those areas and regions. Oh, One thing about this pandemic and COVID-19, it taught us that we can do things differently now. And
Yeah.
even though we don't have to necessarily be 6 feet apart, 6 miles apart, or 60 miles apart, we can still get together virtually and do things communicatively where we'll be able to be some type of responsibility, or show some type of responsibility, obligation to the school. I want us to be able to create new chapters even abroad if we could.
Yeah.
There's no way that I'm going to travel to Africa. I would love to, and sit down and have a meeting with our first African Alumni Association. However, if that opportunity does not present itself, I could join that chapter right here in the United States of America, even though I'm of African descent, and
Yes.
still join that chapter. So those are some of the benefits of being able to do things virtually now and still being able to get the job accomplished at hand.
Yeah. No, I love it. I love it. So this is a lot of information, and I know that people will watch it. They're watching now and they'll watch it later,
Oh,
and students will be able to get a lot of tools from this. But this is my last question for you, Ms. Kluttz. And I know we're coming up on the end, but this is the last question. You have a student right now that's a junior, right?
okay.
You have a student right now that's a sophomore, and even a freshman, and they're hearing these alumni conversations. They're hearing that Ms. Kluttz is in the area of alumni affairs, and she's encouraging students to be a part of chapters, and they can do it abroad, they can do it in person. So what is your message towards those students that may not experience being alumni until an alumni or an alumnus until about maybe 3 years?
Okay.
So
I want them to know my purpose here is to guide them into that. We always talk about begin, believe, become. Well, in addition to being alumni affairs director, I'm also the advisor of the pre-alumni council. We
mm,
plan events. We want our students to plan events where they're developing ways and being innovative on how they can give their time, talent, and treasure. Because you're not going to be 30 years from now where you are today. Today you may be able to bring someone else into the fold. That's as much as you can give. Tomorrow you may be able to speak to our student body and share your experiences in pre-alumni council and what it was like once you graduated and matriculated to a chapter or the nationals or became the board of trustee president. See, that's where our alums have gone. You
right.
know, our national president is now the chairman of our board of trustees. It just behooves me that people don't see the movement and the wave on what we can create and what we can become, because we have indulged ourselves in becoming part of a family of alumni and wanting to do what's best for our institution. Not to even mention the fact that we're about to become a university. You know,
Yes.
so with that being said, there's several opportunities where we all can do something again, so we can contribute to what is going to be such a substantial growth for not just Voorhees College, but the town of Denmark, for
Yeah.
the state of South Carolina,
Yeah.
and definitely for our founder who has worked so hard to create this wonderful institution.
Yeah. So briefly, you said something about the pre-alumni council, and
Mhm.
those that are watching may not know exactly what that is, but I believe in my mind that's like the JV of the actual alumni council. So
B-
could you talk,
BT.
right, the B team. Let's say the B team. So can you talk about it really quickly, just the pre-alumni council, what it looks like, how can students get involved, etc.
Okay, one of the things we do with pre-alumni council, when the students come to me, their responsibility is to create programs again that are going to yield their peers into wanting to give their time, talent, and treasure. It may not all happen at once,
Okay.
but it's almost like a developmental piece, like being on the B team, the JV team, and matriculating to varsity. You got to start somewhere.
Right.
So
Right.
what our students do, they plan activities. We allow people to know what the Alumni Association does, how they're responsible for sharing that information with the other students and getting them in contact with those alumni associations that are in their area. Because like I say, these are our alumni association. They create scholarships for people.
Mhm.
I'll give you some example of the Charleston alumni associate, alumni chapter. They have a crab roll every year. This is something that our students in the Charleston area that are part of the pre-alumni council can assist in with their efforts. It's
Yeah.
in their area. So it doesn't just start right here at Voorhees. When we leave here and we go home for summer break, spring break, Christmas break, we get involved with the chapter then. We don't wait until we graduate and say, okay, let me see where I want to be. Sumter has an all-white affair. That's one of their major fundraisers. If you're from that area, you can join their chapter and become part of their time, talent, and treasure efforts. Berkeley has a scholarship banquet.
Mm-hmm.
Billings has a sponsorship community leadership type luncheon. And what they do is the leadership in the community of the Columbia, Richland, KC, Lexington, that area, they find those constituents that want to work with our college and they honor them, because some people are doing great things who've never even graduated from this
Yeah.
college.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we have also like the Denmark alumni chapter. I think you probably even remember this recently. It's not even the greatest things that people give because people think sometimes all they want is some money. I keep telling you it's time, talent, treasure. B team, JV, varsity.
There we go.
The Denmark alumni chapter they hosted two events in the last 3 months. One of them was a snack drive for our students. I think you probably recall that. And all they did was they set up some tables in front of Mass Hall and St. James, and they sent notices out to all the other chapters, to the campus, to the community, and people dropped off water, um, ramen noodles, snacks, and things for our students to have that they don't have to pay for because it's been a hard time for a lot of us. But some of our students, even before the pandemic, suffered with getting funds or revenue or supplies or getting a care package sent to school. Some of us don't have the same resources. So like I said, whatever you can do, there's no such thing as, well, if I just give this is all I got. All I got can roll into so much more because
All I got.
I'm doing it. Is we're doing it. This is
Yeah.
all I have. So we don't look at it like that. There's no such thing as a small gift. But one of the things I wanted to encourage everybody, whether you are not a part of a chapter or if you choose to join a chapter, do your part. You may not have the time for it right now, but find something that you're interested in that's going to allow you to still be in an ambassadorship or some type of ambassador role in regards to your dear old beloved Voorhees College.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
I thought you were going to continue talking just then. You sound like you weren't finished.
Oh, I have a lot to say, but we only have 30 minutes.
Okay.
I'll
So
take what you give me though. But the one of the things that our National Alumni Association has done this year, and this is the first time that I know we have a lifetime membership. So with your stimulus package money, if you are interested in joining the National Alumni Association for the rest of your life, it's $500. And I,
mm,
and I just told you, every graduating senior gets a free membership for the first year. So the class of 2021 is already in there. So if you decide between now and 22 that you want to join the National Alumni Association for $500, that's 10 years worth of dues.
wow.
So, I mean, that's a great start for a 20-year-old to start at
Yeah.
25-year-old. I mean, if you're 107, that might not be, something that you want to do, but
Right.
definitely, in your 20s, it's time to start investing because whatever it is that we're going to put into our storehouse, we're supposed to be reaping rewards from that. And I'm hoping that everyone sees it as that, like I do.
Yeah. Yeah. No, this was great. Ms. Kluttz, you shared so much stuff. And like I said, we're going to make sure that some of our students are aware of the impact and the benefits of the alumni chapter, the pre-alumni chapter, the B team, the C team, the D team, all of those teams that they can be on earlier on before they graduate. So we want to thank you for coming on today and sharing a bit of your time with us. We know that you are a busy woman on our campus of Voorhees College. So just thank you for your time. Thank you for your words that you've shared. And of course, we're going to get this message out. So those that are watching now, please, if you want to see more videos, you can go on our YouTube page and there are discussions with various people discussing different topics. And like today, we're talking about students that have graduated from the Voorhees College. Congratulations to you. And now let's get a part of an alumni chapter. Ms. Kluttz, thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Dude, for having me.
Yes, ma'am. We'll talk to y'all soon.